Alright, Trial Mob, so here we are, day 2 of the news. So we're going to be rounding out the new Acid Rain releases that we will be getting, which is basically the rest of Buck's team. And damn, I already thought the first 2 looked really badass, and they did. They looked really cool. They had a lot of really nice aesthetics about them, and obviously that follows into the next 3 releases that we are getting. But goddamn, I cannot believe how good they are looking. We're going to go ahead and break it all down right now for you guys and see if you should be just as excited for the next 3 as we are for the first 2. Alright, y'all, let's get it. Now, to start everything off, we have this absolutely beautiful photo of all of the figures all together. Now, we have seen a photo of all of them, but it really was more so Bob and Jack who were kind of in front of everybody, so you couldn't see them. Now we get to see all of the figures in their full glory, and damn, this is one good looking team. And I'm absolutely happy about the fact that they color match just so well. Obviously, that means that there is some reuse in basically a lot of the under body parts, basically probably from the waist down. They're all going to be identical, which is something we've seen before. That's nothing new, but I do appreciate the uniform look. But they all, even with that, all just so happen to look very unique in their own fashion, and that's always been something about their team that obviously is really badass, right? They're all the exact same part of the team, but they're all specialists in their own ways, and they excel at different things, and I'm happy that we're seeing that here. Alright, Trial Mob, so first on the list we have Steele, the unstoppable bomber. Now, Steele has always been the heavy duty guy, basically anti-armor, anti-infantry is the way that they've always made him look. Well, you don't have to choose either or, because in this new look he has some upgrades that allow him to play both parts. This is going to be a very, very modular figure. Out of all of them, I think he has some of the highest modularity, thanks to basically one of the pieces that they've added to him that you can see there is those robotic arms so that he can hold other weapons. So this guy comes with the ability to take on an entire platoon with armor. I mean, this is probably one of the best bang for your bucks, no pun intended, in terms of the team members you'd be able to get, because he can do a lot. Now, just like the other releases that we have gotten, well, they haven't been released yet, but the other news that we got from the other Bucks team members, we are basically getting new faces for everybody. So same thing here. This is the first time, at least myself, is seeing Steele's actual face. It looks good. Yeah, I think it has a really good aesthetic to it. Again, it's really nice that these guys have basically multiple different looks: helmeted, unhelmeted, face mask, unface mask. I mean, there's a lot that you can do here. And again, the modularity of these guys is the key thing that really sells me, and I'm sure will sell a lot of you. Now, as mentioned, he does come with those new arms on the back of him, which we've seen before on like the Glaucus and some of the other infiltrator pieces that we've gotten. So he basically comes with that from the jump, which allows him more stability. This basically means that he'll be able to fire off these really big weapons and not be pushed back. Now, this is lore-wise, right? You can use it however you want to, but it is cool that he has this almost Doc Ock aesthetic to him now, where he's able to use all these different weapons, and he has obviously some support when he's using it all, or some support to help him hold it so he can shoot it and have one arm free to do something else, or he can have the rocket launcher on him in the moment rather than needing to put it down to choose another weapon. Again, modularity, modularity, modularity. I love it. I really love the aesthetic that they're going for here. I always like these thicky boys, and man, it really be like that sometimes. Now, of course, as I mentioned before, modularity, you can pull everything off of him. So once you pull everything off of him, you do have what is basically the original Steele character, right? Just a rocket launcher and just a regular toolkit on him, nothing extra. So of course, you can go bare bones or you can go everything. There's plenty of choices to choose from here, and I think that that's an incredible choice by Acid Rain's part to be able to basically make this guy and design this guy in the way that they did. I think that they definitely brought him into the future, right? And a character that no longer has to choose between, you know, anti-armor and then being able to obviously defend themselves against just regular infantry. So this is really awesome. Now, switching over to King, one of the things that I like about this is I actually have the original JoyToy's King, so it's really nice to see how far he's come and what they've done with him. So he is a bit more like Buck in his own way with his overall toolkit, and of course we're seeing that here. We're seeing that same modular weapon that could be turned into close quarter combat SMG or long range, you know, rifle. He's also the physical expert in the team, right? He's basically the close quarter combat guy. Granted, I'm surprised he doesn't come with a shotgun if that's the case, but still, he does come with a really cool toolkit. Let's go ahead and look into it. So King is regarded as the shielded striker, and as you can tell here, he basically comes with what looks like kind of like a boxing glove on both hands, but really it's more like a shield and a boxing glove. And he is apparently, from what it says, wearing some kind of modular armor up top, so this makes him incredibly dangerous at close range combat. All he has to do is basically reach out and punch you, and he's going to probably kill you in one punch. Now again, King has a face. We've never seen the face before. It's absolutely incredible to be able to see, you know, a humanized character. It's really cool for me, right? These guys kind of had that like Spartan sense to them, where only Bob was the one that we got to see, but nobody else. But now everyone is their own unique character that can potentially have other figures that go with them while they lead them, right? So that's something that's really dope to see. And again, we do see that gun there that is modular down to basically what looks like a little pistol. Great stuff, man. I absolutely appreciate what they've done with this character. King's toolkit is definitely one of my favorite. I like the fact that he's wearing some kind of modular armor, and on top of that he has that modular gun. And then on top of that, his kit looks really nice. He's got like what we can see is like a backpack and some other equipment on him to differentiate him even much more from the rest of the group. Again, each one of these guys embodies a different fighting style. Again, this is our CQB character, so close quarter combat, or is it CQ? Yeah, CQB. So this is our guy right here. And again, I think I have a soft spot for him just because I own the JoyToy one. So if I only had to have one, this is probably going to be the one I pull the trigger on. But let's be honest, we're all going to get the entire team. Now, we do also see that he will be coming with his baton, the baton that he's always come with. That's really nice. And then we do get to see here that he can hold the entire assault rifle, right, in one hand and be able to blast it, because again, he is wearing that modular upper body armor, so he should be stronger. He's probably physically stronger than the rest of them just because of that one piece right there. So that's something that I appreciate, and the fact that they show you doing him that in the promotional photos, again, kind of highlights some of those attributes. And I love when a company like Acid Rain does little things like that, because again, we don't have a lot of lore on this, we don't have a lot of video on this to see what these guys would actually look like or be able to do. So when we see little things like that, it really helps bring up the figure. But again, and here on the right, we do see what he would look like if he was more bare bones, kind of like the original that we used to have from the JoyToy section. Now this right here is just a really cool looking photo, man. It's just basically all of them inside of the Ankilo. It makes me want to buy one just so I can recreate this photo right here. Each one of them would, this is honestly, them all together would be their own little platoon, right? They're able to do what would take like an army of 20 guys, these 5 guys could do. So I think that this is just a really cool looking photo, and I appreciate Acid Rain giving us something like this. Alright, and now last but not least, we have Argus the Nocturnal Predator. And man, is that a crazy ass name for this guy. So something that I wasn't aware in the lore is that this guy is actually a soil ghost. So that's really interesting to see this guy here. I don't know any of the background of any of that. That might be something completely new that we'll get to see in terms of new lore. But he is looking absolutely badass with his sniper rifle, which looks unique. I don't think we've ever seen it. He comes with other equipment, of course. And then one of the main things that I like about this guy, again, with that modularity, is we get that new face, and it's really nice looking. And then of course we do get a cloak, something that looks really, really dope. I like the way that they decided to do it, because usually it comes with like a one piece, and here making it tethered the way it is, or feathered, I'm not really quite sure the right way to describe that, but it comes in multi-sectional. I think that was a great design choice by Kit Lau and the team. Now, of course, with modularity being the name of the game, we do get a lot of different ways to show this guy off. So helmeted, unhelmeted, cloaked and uncloaked, obviously different weapons. And I do like the fact that we do get a more low-key version, right? So maybe these guys are just traveling, you can have him without the cloak, and once he's in battle, you can have him with the cloak on. So again, I do appreciate that. And then what's really nice is that in the background, we do see Sophie. So is that their way of telling us that we might be getting a Sophie figure? Now, obviously in the background, what we are getting is an older Sophie figure that doesn't look like one of their newer ones. I could be wrong, but she doesn't seem to have any of the new colors that would go with the Bugs team. Remember, at some point she does become a Bugs team member, so this could very well be a future figure that we're getting, or at least that's just their way of showing us that in the future we will be getting an updated Sophie. So that's pretty badass. Now this right here is what I would call a power shot, man. This just looks incredible. Now why does it look incredible? Again, articulation on these figures are going to be great, just as they've been with everything we've gotten from Acid Rain so far. I'm hoping we do get to see some new articulation in there. I can't pinpoint anything just by looking at this, but the fact that he's holding his weapon perfectly down sight, Helmet looks great. He's in a perfect position. I mean, this is a really good looking figure overall. I think, to be honest, this probably has won my heart as my favorite one. And if I had to pull the trigger on just one, it would be this one. But come on, guys, get the whole team. This is definitely the one that you don't want to miss out on. They're doing it the right way. They're doing split release. They're allowing us to be able to pick these up in waves so that you can have the money to do it. So by all means, do not miss out on this wave if you're an Acid Rain collector. Now, this last photo right here does a really good job of just showcasing his weapons. We get to see how absolutely large that 50 cal rifle looks like. I'm going to assume the 50 cal or bigger, to be honest. It looks great. We haven't seen it before. It, of course, comes with the bipod on it so that you can stand it up. And then, of course, you can see that he has some kind of pistol there that looks something like out of, like, literally what Star-Lord has in some of his action figures. So I'll be curious to see what exactly that is. But again, guys, I think this is going to be my favorite one of the bunch. Out of all 5 of them, I'm going to rank this one a hot number 1, with most likely King as that number 2. But honestly, these guys are so badass, so good looking, so well done, articulated, and just like, again, that they're giving us something that we haven't gotten before per se. So again, I think this is definitely going to be the team to start building up, because it really looks like they're going to most likely be giving us new team members to fill out the Bucks team ranks. So stay tuned for all of those releases. Alright, Trial Mob, and just as I was about to round up the news, this got posted last night, so I had an opportunity to throw it in here at the end for you guys to see. But this is the Freedom Trio from the JoyToy Hardcore series. So, man, I love the fact that we've been getting a lot more regular, realistic, like slightly modern, but not too ahead of us right now, right? This looks like something that the military could look like today. But JoyToy's been coming out with some of those recently with the new Buck that I personally really like. We are seeing a little bit of retooling here, so it's not a complete it's not the exact same figure over and over again, just with slightly different pieces on it. We're seeing something very different. So these guys are considered freedom fighters, so I don't know if this is supposed to be let's say maybe these are Ukrainians, right? I don't know if JoyToy is making stuff based on like what's happening in the real world, but I love this announcement, and I think calling it the Freedom Trio really does give you that sense that, you know, these guys could be like, let's say, Ukrainian soldiers or something like that. But that's not the point here. The point is that they look badass no matter what. We're seeing different color combos, different boot colors. These guys still look like they could be part of the same army, but they're not necessarily uniformed. This is really nice shots of them overall. I like that one of them has a full balaclava. The other guys are you have a regular face. The guy on the right, as you can tell, he is wearing a hat. More than likely that's removable. We're seeing multiple weapons, multiple pistols. I really like that little thing right there on the guy on the right with the backpack, how the rifle is actually able to be stored on the side of that. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I'm not sure if it pegs in. I'm not sure what they're doing there. Regardless, I'm sure someone like Skelly is going to put on those little magnets anyway to give this effect to all of these guys. But just the fact that something like JoyToy, or a company like JoyToy, would make that kind of decision, really enjoyable here. I really appreciate that. I'm hoping that we'll see more of that, because I would love to be able to put the other side arms of these figures on them rather than having to have them on the side. Now, what's really nice is that all of these guys have the same benefits from the new Buck that we've gotten. All of them are able to hold their weapons perfectly fine. They're able to shoulder them and still look down sight, as you can tell, even with the sniper rifle on the left. The proportions all seem very nice. They seem very realistic. Again, there's a lot to enjoy about what we're getting from JoyToy recently, and there's a lot going on here that just makes this be a cut above. There's no one else at this price point, at this size, that are making figures that are like this, and I really appreciate the fact that we're able to get this kind of body and this kind of look, and that they're filling out these ranks with having mercenaries and freedom fighters and United States soldiers, and I can only imagine what's next that they're going to come out with. Again, I think it's just really nice that we're getting just these filled out ranks of different soldiers, all that of course could live within the same realm of existence as the rest of them, right? This isn't something that I would go, this is just not going to look good with my Navy SEALs or anything like that. This all looks like if you had a diorama and you put them all together, either fighting each other or fighting together. Again, that would be really nice. But what I would like for them to do is, we've gotten a lot of soldiers that could fight together. We've gotten a lot of stuff that looks like they could be playing together. But what I would like for them to do as a last thing that I would like to see them do is give us a real enemy to fight. Because again, a lot of this looks like it could be part of the US military. The mercenaries did for sure. They were definitely American. And these guys right here could be Ukrainian, but also could potentially be American soldiers, right? It's hard to tell. There's not really any story, but if they could give us a legit group to fight against, I don't know, maybe they could do the Russians, maybe they could do modern Chinese, or they could do, you know, modern Germany, whatever they want to do, they can go ahead and do it, or even terrorist groups or whatever. I think that would be a really nice setup for us. All right, Chara Mob, and that right there rounds out the rest of the updates for this week. So Acid Rain coming at us with just absolute fire, and then JoyToy coming out with a few more things that again are going to be on my must-buy list. I've actually been doing a good job of that. So the new Freedom Fighter trio is great, and of course the trio we're getting here from the rest of the Bucks team are just some of the most badass, well-designed, well-modernized figures that I've seen from JoyToy in a while. So I think that that's going to be something that's going to draw a lot of people that are still within the organization, be within the 118th community to purchase, and it's going to bring in new people as well, guys. So this is the golden, honestly, this is the golden hour of 118th collection. This is the last, I want to say, year, while it's still going to be kind of like that niche, because I think coming up on this year, maybe end of this year, beginning of next year, it's really going to blow up and be that new thing that everybody is buying, especially with rising prices of stuff. A lot of people are going to maybe enjoy the fact that a lot of the pricing on this stuff is just short for people to be willing to potentially buy this, right? The price is just low enough. You know, some of that JoyToy stuff, if you can get it at a good price, you can get it for a little under $35. I mean, it's not too much more expensive than, let's say, a Marvel Legends. And they're coming out with such good stuff at the 118 scale, both Acid Rain and JoyToy, that regardless of price, I think a lot of people are still going to be drawn into it and be willing to get into the world of Acid Rain, get into the world of JoyToy. So again, I think this is the right time for you to start buying this kind of stuff. It's going to be worth more, making videos, making content, and of course, liking, subscribing, and commenting on the videos I make, because of course, this is going to help me grow. This is going to help me grow the community. This is going to make me allow me to get monetized, allow me to get to 1,000, which is really what I'm trying to get to. So please like, comment, subscribe, share. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys are really excited to see coming forward in the future, and let me know how I can improve my content to make it better for you guys. All right, but until then, I will see you guys on the next one. Deuces.